The single trait every psychopath meticulously conceals, often even from themselves, is their profound, chilling inability to experience authentic human connection. They are masters of mimicry, perfecting a performance of normalcy that fools even the most astute observers. Picture a chameleon, effortlessly blending into its surroundings, not because it feels the environment, but because its very survival depends on that flawless imitation. A psychopath operates in much the same way, observing our emotions, our reactions, our vulnerabilities, and then crafting an intricate, almost flawless mask designed to manipulate and control. They don't feel empathy, they study it with a cold, detached precision. They don't experience genuine remorse, they simulate it with calculated words and gestures. This isn't just about a superficial lack of feeling, it's about a fundamental difference in their internal operating system, a deep void where conscience and genuine care should reside. But how long can such a demanding performance truly last, especially when under the intense scrutiny of real-world pressure? That meticulously constructed mask, no matter how flawless it appears, eventually develops hairline fractures. It's in those fleeting, often unsettling moments, when their carefully woven narrative is challenged, or their self-serving goals are thwarted, that the true, cold nature surfaces. Imagine a heated, emotional discussion with someone you considered a close confidant. You express deep personal hurt over a betrayal, sharing raw vulnerability, expecting empathy. Instead, you're met with a blank, almost predatory stare, a subtle shift in their eyes that speaks not of remorse, but of cold calculation. Their response isn't about your pain, but their next strategic move. It's an almost imperceptible flicker of absolute indifference, a clinical detachment that leaves you profoundly unsettled. Was that the real person, or just a momentary misunderstanding? These are not individuals who confess their inner void. Their true self is betrayed in the stories they tell, the explanations they offer. Listen closely. Their narratives often revolve around themes of power, control, and instrumental gain. Their empathy is always a tool, never an intrinsic response. They might describe a tragic event with perfect emotional vocabulary, yet their eyes remain devoid of genuine sorrow, or their focus quickly shifts to how they navigated the situation, how they benefited, or how they expertly managed others' reactions. They intellectualize emotion, dissect it, and then deploy it. They understand the mechanics of human connection, but they don't possess the engine that drives it. If they don't feel empathy, what truly motivates their every interaction? This profound lack of genuine connection and conscience isn't just a hidden trait. It is the very foundation of the psychopath's predatory playbook. Because they don't feel your pain, your fear, or your love in any authentic way, they are uniquely positioned to weaponize these very human experiences. They meticulously observe your vulnerabilities, your unspoken desires, your deepest insecurities. They learn the exact buttons to push, not to connect but to control. They see you as an object, a resource to be exploited, a pawn in their elaborate game of life. Their entire existence becomes a grand manipulation, driven by a relentless pursuit of power, pleasure, or personal gain, with zero regard for the emotional wreckage they leave behind. How can you defend against a mind that understands your emotional landscape better than you do, but feels nothing for it? The cost of this hidden trait, their fundamental inability to truly connect, is devastating. Not for them, for they feel no remorse, but for every life they touch. They leave behind a trail of broken trust, financial ruin, and profound emotional trauma. They are perpetual learners in the art of manipulation, constantly refining their tactics, adapting to new environments, but their core programming remains unchanged. They can parrot the right words, perform the right gestures, but it's always an act, always driven by self-interest. Recognizing this deep-seated, hidden void is not about curing them, it's about protecting yourself. It's about understanding that some individuals simply do not operate on the same emotional wavelength, and that ignoring your gut instinct about someone's genuine lack of warmth can be a catastrophic mistake. So, the next time you encounter someone whose charm feels just a little too polished, whose apologies ring hollow, or whose intense gaze seems to penetrate rather than connect, remember that one hidden trait. Look beyond the words, past the performance. Trust your intuition when something feels off. That discomfort, that nagging doubt, might just be your most powerful shield against the one trait every psychopath hides: their true, unfeeling self. Lurking beneath the surface.